Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Keeping It PC, Season 3, Episode 2. My name is Lucas Drake. I am also joined by the lovely host Cole Dickinson and LT, aka Liam Tompkins. Today, we're kind of in like a weird time after the NFL where it's like there's nothing going on. And we got absolutely like nothing to talk about. So it's gonna be a short episode today. Forewarning, it's not gonna be as long as we usually do. But today we got a little cool idea that we're gonna do. We're gonna name some NBA legends back in the day and see if we can discuss if they could compete in this modern day era NBA, which is only an offensive type of thing because they don't like to play defense. I
Yeah,
have
I
a
don't know
list.
about that.
I have a
I don't know
list.
about that.
I have a list up here on my left. I
Well,
don't.
real
Yeah,
quick. The reason we're doing this is because me and LT have been going back and forth for about a week on Larry
And
Bird.
one specific player.
Well, we'll get into. We should start with Bird though, so we
Okay.
can kick off with that.
All
But
right.
all right. So we'll start with Bird. So I'll just say what I've been saying. If Larry Bird played in today's NBA, he's Joe Ingles. he's Joe Ingles, bro. That's what he is.
That is the worst sports opinion. Like, you could talk about anything we've said in this entire podcast, I think. And that is
This
the absolute
entire
worst take I've ever
podcast.
heard. The worst take
man.
that you've ever had, by far.
Yeah, but
I don't even think I have to argue with you. Like, I told you to watch Game 6 of the 1986 NBA
I did.
Finals. We saw a 29-point triple-double against Hakeem Olajuwon. Obviously, it wasn't face-to-face guarding, but he got a lot of pickpockets out of Hakeem. Obviously, it wasn't Hakeem in his prime. It was 1986. But then when you look at the championships he won, it was against Moses Malone, obviously Hakeem, and then there's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that he won his third against. And yeah, that is definitely not something that Joe Ingles could even imagine. What has Joe Ingles even dropped 40 in a game?
yeah, but that's the point though. Joe Ingles, if he was in the 80s, he would have been doing the same shit Bird was. And here's the thing. You think it's disrespect? I think
So
Joe
embarrassing.
That's
so
Joe
embarrassing for you.
Ingles was.
It's so embarrassing for you to think that.
I think Joe Ingles is a baller, bro. He's a hooper. He's good. That's an elite role player. So that's not even disrespectful.
How is he an elite role player and he doesn't even have one like award to himself? He
He
came
was
runner up
second.
for Sixth Man of the Year once.
Second in Sixth Man of the Year. That's elite, if you ask me. That's elite.
You're leaking that you don't know ball. It's leaking right now. You're
No, it's
showing
not.
You're
that you
leaking.
don't
You're
know
leaking,
ball.
Cole.
This shows that I'm on a higher level of thinking than the rest of you.
All right, now that we've heard this awful opinion, Lucas, tell us other players and let's see what we think.
You said his name already. I wanted to start off with Hakeem Olajuwon. Would you?
Oh,
He would still be a baller. He
yeah.
had a great mid-range shot that actually like a fadeaway kind of thing that wasn't
Mhm.
even tried as much because obviously he was more of an inside scorer. But yeah, his play would probably adapt even better in today's game
Yeah.
than it did back then. So yeah,
He'd
definitely.
he'd be like Joel Embiid, I'd think. Like similar to that type of player.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. But it's kind of like weird when you look at old NBA highlights because you're like, damn, they're moving like mad slow and doing these weird ass movements nobody doing now. So would that shit work right now though? You know what I'm
But
saying?
listen, you say that, and then we have players like Jokic
You're
that move
right.
slow.
You're right.
Sometimes
Jokic is different.
moving slow doesn't exactly correlate to being good or bad. If it goes in the hoop, it goes in the hoop. You could play slow, you could play fast. And sometimes we see that these plays back in the 80s, they'll still work nowadays. So that whole argument itself is stupid.
Nah, you're right.
So
Yeah, it
I-
works.
It is.
It works. Ingles is a good player.
He's a good player.
That's
Has he averaged over Luke or Cole? Has he averaged over like 15 a game in a season?
he averaged like 14.8 in the playoffs one year. That's all I'm saying.
Stop.
Let me
You can't
see.
even call him a great player. He's okay.
I think he's a great role player.
Um.
Ugh. Disgusting.
He
It's not. He's
averaged
good.
no. The last time he averaged over 10 points was when he was on the Jazz.
He's not in his prime
In
anymore.
2020.
Yeah, well,
In
he's like
2020.
36 now.
Yeah.
He's old.
Yeah.
The highest he's ever averaged was 12.1.
That's
Is
what
that
I'm
not
saying.
solid?
Yeah.
Is
You're
that not
telling me
solid?
Larry Bird? You're telling me Larry Bird in today's age is just putting up 12 points a game?
You're not taking that from your sixth man?
But that's
12.2,
not Larry Bird. Like, you
44.8%
know how
field goal
stupid you
percentage.
sound?
But Larry Bird in today's NBA, obviously in the 80s, he's
That's
still
actually
great.
crazy, Cole. After looking
in
at his stats,
today's-
that's actually crazy.
I can't believe this is what you believe.
His stats aren't going to carry over. Like, it's if he was put in today's NBA,
let me just
he'd be
say,
Joe Ingles.
Cole, I already said a stat line. Let me give you another stat line.
I don't need a stat.
He had 29 points, 21 rebounds against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the NBA Finals.
And Joe Ingles had
Ingles doing that?
he had 27 in game 2 of the Western Conference semis against James Harden one year. So that's pretty special if you ask me.
When
They
you
have-
That's
you have-
special.
They have the exact same skill set. It's insane. If you really watch it, they have the exact same skill set.
everyone listening, this proves exactly what I've been saying.
Nothing you've been saying is right. You think it's disrespectful to call him Joe Ingles? It's not. That's high praise. That's
A
high
player who
praise.
dropped 27 points once in the playoffs.
Being a good player is being a good player. It's that Larry Bird in today's
sorry,
NBA is
I'm
not an
not-
all-time great. He's not. He's a good player.
All right,
Let's
you
move
guys
on
heard
to
it.
the next.
I don't have to argue. I don't have to argue because everybody knows that this is blasphemy that is being said.
I don't know that.
Obviously, I personally have Larry Bird around 8 or 9 in my top 10 all time, which is some people have him higher actually, but I'm still going to defend him obviously from the slander. I'm not even the biggest Larry Bird fan, but comparing him to Joe Ingles is one of the worst things I've ever heard in the history of basketball takes.
He's not in my top 10 of all time.
Okay. Who is in your top 10?
Should I actually say it?
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
you
another
had-
say
thing
it?
that
I
we're
think you
saying.
had said it before though on the podcast, so like just
All right, but
just skim through it though.
I've drastically changed my opinions, so
What?
I got some takes, man.
All right.
Number 1 is Bill Russell, 11 rings.
All right, let's move on. No, I'm going to the next player. I'm going to the next player. I'm going to the next
Russell
player.
can't be my GOAT.
No, let's go. We're all Knicks fans here. Do you think Patrick Ewing would compete in this modern day era?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
nice.
he'd still be good. Yeah, his play definitely. I don't know if offensively it would translate as well, but on defense, his shot blocking alone and his defense, he would be utilized anywhere he went in the NBA today.
I view it like the bigs and like the post 90s players to me would all be good in today's NBA.
Could you imagine like somebody like Ben Wallace in today's game?
Yeah, he'd be a defensive
Okay.
monster, dude. He'd be
Yeah.
great.
What
So
about?
I just
Sure.
after Jordan got into the league, that's when I start to be like, all right, all you guys could probably play. Pre-Jordan, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
See, that's where we differ here. So like I want to hear what Lucas has like what player he's gonna say because we got different opinions here.
I have two different tabs open. NBA legends from 90s and from 80s. I don't know if you guys want me to go earlier than that.
Go 80s. Go 80s.
Okay.
Pre-Jordan, yeah,
Let's see
before
80s.
Jordan.
It says right here Charles Barkley. What do you think?
I think he'd be good, actually. I don't know if he'd be
good.
I don't know if he'd be as good as he was then, but I think he'd be good. Just because
Still
he's
an all-star. He'd still be an all-star.
Yeah, he fits into like the undersized basketball that is played now.
But honestly, did he have a good jumper? I'm not aware of his 3-point shooting. I don't know if he was that good.
He had a good jumper, but he wasn't like crazy from 3. I don't think.
He
He had some solid years though.
Yeah. He
Fair
averaged.
enough.
Yeah, it doesn't say his 3-point percentage, but it says he got a 57.5% field goal percentage.
Man, you got to go on Basketball Reference. Shout out Basketball Reference. That's the only
Honestly,
place I go for
That's
my
what I'm
Yes.
on right there.
Yeah,
Oh, they
Basketball
got
reference.
3-point percentage. Then you got to look.
It's just a summary of all the players because it has all the lists.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Right here, what about Walter Davis from the Phoenix Suns? You know him?
Walter Davis.
I have
You
no
wanted
idea.
some obscure NBA legends.
He'd be a scrub.
He'd be a
Is he a Hall of
scrub.
Famer? Is that a Hall of Famer?
He'd be Alfred
should
Payton.
be. He's 24th on the best 80s players.
Wow.
You guys know who? Dude, we're about to get flamed right now. Some old heads are
He'd
gonna
be
be
Alfred
listening to
Payton,
this.
bro.
Some old heads are gonna be listening to this.
hopefully no one over the
How do
age
you
of
not
40 is
know
listening.
Walter Davis? How do you know? Do you guys know Adrian Dantley?
Yes.
Oh, he'd be trash.
He would have.
Garbage.
Yeah, I don't think he had a jump shot.
So
So,
how-
He's
do you-
higher than
wait.
Charles Barkley on the list, though.
But how are you looking at like
I'm just naming a
Adrian
bunch. I don't
Dantley?
know.
No, but LT, how can you say Adrian Dantley would be garbage, but then say Larry Bird would still be Larry Bird?
you're comparing it. Wait. So you think you're so low on Larry Bird that
I'm
you
not
would
low.
even compare him to Adrian Dantley? Drantley. Is it Dantley? Drantley? How do you say his
Adrian-
last name?
Bro, Adrian Dantley, he was a bucket, bro. He was a bucket.
Fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna go from one and
But
go down.
In the
Original
80s,
players.
he was a bucket. That's what I'm saying. Is like he's not
But
doing that
Larry
shit in
Bird
today's
wasn't
league.
just a bucket, Cole. He was like one of the greatest players of all time.
And Joe Ingles would have been back then too.
Oh, I have a good one for the next one.
Wow, Adrian Dantley was putting up 30 a game in like 4 consecutive
Yeah, bro.
seasons.
It was nice.
So he would.
Wait, maybe I'm sleeping on him. I
And he
didn't.
would-
I was not familiar with your game. I'm sorry.
And he would be garbage in today's league.
I don't know if you'd be. I
don't know
wait.
much about him.
I'm gonna admit it. I'll admit it. I'm gonna look at his highlight reel after this. I'll get back to the viewers whether or not he would be good in today's NBA.
All right, wait.
Well,
I have a good one that we can talk about next because we have watched his NBA highlights before, and
Yes,
Cole
boy.
said some ridiculous shit too. What about Bob Cousy?
I'm beating him one-on-one. I'm beating him one-on-one.
You're not. You said.
Yes, I am.
You said he was a modern day Rajon Rondo, didn't you, bro? That's what
No.
you said. That's what you said. We were watching
No,
his
listen.
highlights.
No.
We were joking, right? We were joking around saying that he would be Rondo in today's game. But like even me saying that, he had some impressive passes. But like the game moves so fast nowadays, especially on like defense.
Mhm.
I don't know if he would even be able to mentally grasp what was happening on the court because he played at such a different time. So
You're right.
like
There
it's a
wasn't
little
even a
hard to compare
three-point
him.
line when he was playing.
Yeah, it was such a drastically different game back then. But for his time, he was an absolute baller. He had some great passes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where we start to get
Well,
into
Cole,
this is where I
you
start
are
to
not-
line fuck
You are
you.
delusional if you think you're beating him in a one-on-one. That's
I'm
it.
I'm destroying him in a one-on-one. Absolutely
That's
No,
what
you're
it was.
not.
I'm destroying him. And
He's rolling in his grave right now. Rest in peace. Rest in
Wait, is he
peace.
dead?
Yeah,
I think so.
he has to be. He's old.
he doesn't have to be.
He has to be dead.
Do you know how long ago he played? Do you know how long ago that was? The whole Celtics team from that dynasty, I don't think
Yeah,
are
no, you're right.
alive
He
anymore.
is died. He is dead. He is died. Sorry. He is dead. He died in 95.
Mm.
R.I.P. R.I.P. to
Rest
a
in
real
peace. Rest in peace, but I would still beat him in a one-on-one.
one.
And honestly, it's
You'd be him in a
so
one-on-one when he's
disrespectful.
95. That's the only time.
It's so disrespectful to compare him to Rondo, who's the top 3-point guard of all time.
Yeah, it is funny to joke about, but Rondo is I love Rajon Rondo. No, like obviously one of the best dimers of all time. But if Rondo was playing back then, they would think he's a witch.
This is what I'm talking about. These players were great for their era, but you put them in today's league, they're getting destroyed.
All right, wait. So, a better let's kind of flip it then. Can you name not like a crazy NBA legend, but kind of like can you think of like a mid-tier player that would do crazy back then? Like, do you think Julius Randle is going off?
Oh my God, Julius Randle would be the greatest player of all time.
Yeah,
In the
he would be
70s?
insane.
Yeah.
In the 70s,
He'd be
imagine what
nuts.
Julius Randle would have done in the 70s.
He's already an all-star in today's game. Back then, he'd be putting up Wilt Chamberlain MVP numbers, I guarantee it.
You know who I always go to who would have been Jahlil Okafor? I don't know if you guys remember him.
Yeah, of
He was
course.
he was on the Sixers, a high draft pick.
What a
He
mess.
would have been unbelievable in the 80s and like 80s, 90s, even 70s. I think he would have been so nice.
I think I might say this might be bad if we got any older viewers, but like if you're talking obscure centers, even like Willie Cauley-Stein was a high draft pick, dude.
Mm.
Put him back then, the way he was jumping his vertical alone, he's going crazy. Marvin Bagley, I can name some obscure high lottery picks that would be going nuts back in the 1970s.
How about this one? Alex Len. He would have been nice. He would have been nice back in the day.
That's like 70s I'm talking. When Larry Bird and
Yeah.
Magic Johnson were playing, that's the mark, in my opinion, where you can start making these comparisons.
Yeah.
But let me Magic to me is better than Bird.
I
Like
don't
easily,
think so.
like so easily for me.
It's close,
Magic
though. It's close.
Magic is like I think Magic would translate to today's NBA pretty
They
freaking
both
well.
would. Are you kidding me? You're telling me they both wouldn't?
No, Bird would 100%.
You're saying he was going to be Joe Ingles before.
Joe Ingles is a good player. It's not disrespectful. I swear.
If you're looking in the grand scheme of things, Cole, he's not even a mention in the history of the NBA. He's not even going to be mentioned.
Stop. You can't tell the story. You can't tell the story
Oh
of the
my
late
God.
2010s without Joe Ingles.
Yes, you can. Joe Ingles
No, you
doesn't even
can't.
have a ring. He hasn't even won a championship.
He never had the support around him to do it.
No, you're actually trolling, Cole. You have.
I'm not.
There's no way you believe. There's no way you believe.
Put Kevin McHale, Rob Parrish around Joe Ingles, and look what would happen. Danny Ainge. Oh my goodness. Put that around Joe Ingles, he's winning rings.
Joe Ingles just had
It's
18
not even
minutes,
worth
0
an
points, and
argument.
went 0 for 2.
I'm gonna just let you talk, Cole. It's not even worth a response, bro.
No, it's not. Let's change it up now. Let's go back to the NBA legends. Let's go with a pretty big, a really big one. Let's go with Kareem. You think Kareem's doing good in the modern day?
Yes, because his shot is still like, what are you doing with that?
Who's
skyhook?
Who's stopping the skyhook?
Like, what are you doing with that? How do you defend that?
Unguardable.
Kareem's one of those players.
So
like,
elegant. You know what I'm
you
saying?
can't.
You can't stop
Like
that.
he's not just gonna start missing those in today's
No.
league, and you can't block it. So, I mean,
You wouldn't think they would try and like come up with something to stop it though, right? But wait, so then if it's unstoppable, why aren't there players practicing the skyhook right now and trying to perfect it?
No one
Zay
can do it
Kareem.
like him.
Damn,
Hey,
bro.
Kareem, man.
That's crazy.
No one's doing it like the GOAT or the
That
former
actually-
all-time points leader.
No, but that actually makes me think for a second. Like, if he is the most unstoppable shot of all time, how is he not the GOAT?
Mm.
No, like, really think about that for a second.
All right, I have a good one.
Really think about that for a second. Like, I can troll with my Bill Russell shit, but really think about it for a second. If he has the most unstoppable shot, how the fuck is Jordan or LeBron better than him? They're not.
So are you saying
I'm
Kareem
not-
Abdul-Jabbar is the best player of all time?
I'm letting that sink in.
I
Let that
just
sink
I
in.
just have a new perspective on my top 10. Kareem's my GOAT. I just discovered.
Bill Russell
I just
too.
discovered it. Bill Russell's number 2 was 11 rings. If you combine Jordan and LeBron's rings, he still doesn't have as many as Bill Russell.
All right, what about Bill Russell in the modern day?
Oh, dominant. 11 rings?
Bro, but he played when there was like
He's not winning.
nobody though.
I'll say this. He's not winning 11 rings.
You think he's winning one though?
I don't know. He was playing against. This is a time that was so long ago. Like, what other centers in the NBA? I wonder if there's even like stats about this. What was the average height of the NBA center at the time that Bill Russell was playing center? Because I wouldn't be shocked if it was like 6'5", It was something ridiculous.
What year did he play? Or
He,
the
he was
He
in like
played
the
in what?
60s, right?
Late
60s.
60s, early 70s?
But you know what? You know what always makes no sense to me? Like, how did Bill Russell and like Wilt shoot like low 40% from the field? I just
6'10"
I
was the
don't get it.
average.
6'10"?
Yeah.
That's actually not as bad as I thought.
1960 to 1973, the average was 6'10".
Okay. So maybe he wasn't playing against plumbers.
No,
No,
he
he
was.
probably was. They were just tall. They just didn't know how to
6'10"
play.
plumbers? That's a
Well,
tall plumber.
Well, you got to think though, like if there was 9 teams, that means it was probably like 15, 6'10" guys in the league.
Mhm.
I guess.
You know, it's like, and I never understand how these guys shot like so low percentages from the field. Like how how are you 7-1 and you shoot 42% from the field? Like that just doesn't. How is that possible?
What is
Put it in
Wembanyama averaging?
perspective though. What's Joel Embiid shooting, for example, like this year?
Or you can ask the same
Probably
thing
like
about
mid
Wembanyama.
50s, and he was
Um,
taking. But Embiid is taking jumpers though. Like
that's true. Yeah.
these guys are taking like why didn't you just dunk it? Or
Yeah,
like
and
put it in the.
Will wasn't even
Yeah.
looking outside the paint. He
Wembanyama
wasn't even
has a 46.7% field goal percentage.
Wemby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he be taking threes and shit. Like they were taking
Yeah.
like these
They're
guys are
taking
doing like
steps outside the paint.
Yeah.
the longest shots they were taking were probably like 10 feet maybe.
Yeah. I got
And Bill Russell wasn't like shooting. He was like taking layups. How do you shoot 40%?
must have
That
missed
is
a lot.
crazy.
I got a good
11
one.
rings though.
I got a good one because one of the topics of the NBA also is how soft it's becoming. Right?
Mm.
Pause.
Quote unquote, it's quote unquote soft. I don't
Yeah.
think it's getting soft.
How well do you think Isaiah Thomas would be doing in the modern day NBA? He's one of the nittiest and grittiest players in NBA history. So, how many
All
fouls
right.
is he getting? How many technicals is he getting, bro?
He's Patrick Beverly, man.
How did I know? I was actually gonna stop. I was gonna say before you said anything. I was gonna say that you were gonna think he was gonna be Patrick Beverly.
No, but Pat Bev is nice. If they allowed him to score, he'd be nice. I'm telling you.
When he
lot of
was
these-
younger, maybe.
A lot of these dudes in the NBA have to play roles. Like if they were allowed to be good, they'd be good.
What was do we Lucas? You got stats up for Isaiah Thomas?
Let me look him up right now.
Yeah, I want to. I know he's obviously beaten Chicago. Obviously,
What do you want to know?
like just what like points wise, what was he putting up like in his best year?
It's not giving me his career stats. Just giving me individual. All right, here we go.
Isaiah Thomas?
Yeah,
I
here we
want to
go.
say around like 20.
He 19.2 points, 45.2 field goal percentage, 9.3 assists.
See, that's something that translates in all eras. I look at the assist numbers for like all the big
Assist?
name players from back then. If you got a lot of assists, like Magic Johnson, that's why I accept him if people say that he's better than Bird. He was having like 13, 14 assists per game seasons. So obviously, that's the stat that's always going to translate, I think.
Okay,
You know
but
who who was a good passer? Joe Ingles. Bro, he was averaging like
fucking God.
as a forward, averaging 5 assists off the bench in 27 minutes a game is nice. Is nice.
Cole, he doesn't even have a triple double in his entire career. I don't even know if he's had 10 assists.
He averaged like 5 assists over the course of 4 years.
Let me see.
That's nice.
He averaged.
It's not Larry Bird.
Out of his whole career, 3.7.
No, yeah, but in his peak it was around 5,
His
like
highest
4.8.
is 5.7. 2018-19 on the Jazz.
It's all right, but it's like comparing him to Larry Bird in any aspect is disrespectful as shit.
Ingles wasn't playing 38 minutes a game and starting. So how could he ever be Larry Bird?
Dude, I can't even respond to that. I'm losing brain cells arguing this with you.
Oh my goodness, man.
Cool. Fucking
That's
trolling.
actually crazy that you even think that.
I'm
just
not
going down the
trolling. I'm
list.
just trying to expand the people's like knowledge. You know, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to expand.
Expand, letting people know that Joe Ingles is a
Bro,
prodigy.
how many minutes was Ingles getting? It probably wasn't even any. He was probably still getting like 25 minutes a game. Like it's nothing.
Exactly.
Come on,
5 assists in
No, he
25
was
minutes
getting
is solid.
no, he was getting 31.3.
dude.
That's nice.
Exactly. Stop comparing him to Larry Bird.
I'm just going down the list, honestly.
You know-
I can't find
know-
obscure.
You know who John Stockton would be in today's NBA?
Don't say anything too
Don't
crazy.
say anything. Yeah. Go what?
T.J. McConnell.
He
Yeah,
had like
what did
no.
He'd be-
glory.
I want to see. I
All
want
he
to see.
knew. All he knew was passing the ball, and like I said, that's going to translate. But at the same time, we had somebody like Chris Paul. Maybe that'd be a better comparison to somebody like John Stockton. But I
No,
think Chris Paul probably
no.
had a better offensive game than Stockton. Stockton really barely scored. Obviously, just known for his passing. But yes,
Let's
I
say-
guess I wouldn't call him McConnell. He wouldn't. I don't know who I'd compare him to, but he's a little better on offense and like playmaking than somebody like TJ McConnell.
No, I think he's TJ. The thing is,
You
all
don't
he
get
did.
you are so all the old heads. You are so disrespectful to them right now. They're probably screaming through their screen right now.
Good.
Fuck you,
I'm not.
Cole. Fuck you.
The comp was light. It really was. There's
It
not.
wasn't.
The comp was light, bro,
He was playing Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in the finals. How is that
and
light
losing.
comp?
And losing.
How well do you think
Okay,
Scottie
I guess
Pippen would do now?
they won 6 games with them. Come on.
Scottie Pippen would be like Scotty Barnes, pretty much.
Scotty or Barn. Scotty or
Scotty or Barney?
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes.
That guy is hilarious, bro. All right, I'm just going down from 1 to lower right now. Next on the list is Julius Irving, Dr. J.
Dr. J.
Ooh, let me come
Yeah,
up with.
he's nice. His play,
Let me-
because he got the athleticism as well. I know it's old, but dunking is dunking. It's still a 10-foot hoop. So I think his game would correlate to today's game.
I'll give him Derek Jones Jr.
That is nuts, bro. I'm thinking when I think of Dr. J, I don't even think of his dunking. I think of that scoop layup that he did, the skill
No,
that he
that's
needed
nice.
on that
I can't lie.
play.
That's nice.
Derrick
can't lie,
Jones
that's
Jr.
nice.
was not in any world doing that in his entire life.
No, you're right. I'm being disrespectful. I
He's
don't know.
skilled. That skill will make it in any era.
I don't know if there's a good comp. Maybe DeMar DeRozan.
I don't know. That's still kind of low, dude. He's nice. He's an all-time great, bro.
No, you can't tell me DeMar DeRozan is low.
Yeah, but DeMar DeRozan isn't like a GOAT. No. I didn't mean to say GOAT, but all-time classic player. Obviously, back then he was considered one of the GOATs. Obviously, not anymore, but one of the classic players. I don't know if you can say DeMar DeRozan as a comparison.
DeMar DeRozan is like modern day Jordan, bro.
Oh, stop it, man.
What he is.
Jordan? DeMar DeRozan doesn't even have a ring.
You don't need a ring.
Oh my god. It's making these accusations with
Dude,
no
you're
base.
just fucking trolling because you have Bill Russell number 2 because he has 11 rings. That's the only reason why you have him at number 2.
How many fingers does he have?
You know what? Just the fact that he has more rings than fingers makes
That's what
him
I'm saying.
like top 5.
How is he not? I changed my mind. He's the GOAT. You can't.
In the span of 10
argue.
minutes, you just changed your number 1 and 2, bro.
You can't argue it.
2 times. What
11
about
rings
yeah.
is 11 rings.
All right, next on the list is Dominique Wilkins. We'll do like 2 or 3 more after this.
Ooh, I don't think he would be good. How tall was he?
Let me see.
Oh, he
He
might have
was
been
like 6'8".
Yeah, he might have been all right.
He is come on.
Nah, he'd be good.
6'8",
He'd be good.
yeah, 6'8".
What position? He wasn't a
He
center,
was
was
a
he?
he was a
Small
small
forward.
forward.
Yeah, and he was athletic as shit. I remember that dunk contest against Michael Jordan, obviously. So I've never really sat down and watched his highlights though. These names are kind of making me. I'm a sucker for old school basketball highlights,
Clearly.
so I'll definitely watch some of those afterwards.
Yeah. James Worthy.
No.
Ooh, he was like all-time team player. I feel like a team player back then would have no idea how to do anything in the NBA today. As much as I like James Worthy as an all-time aspect, he's a legend, but I can't say he'd be good in today's game.
Yeah, he'd be pedestrian, just like, and he'd be not like a good he'd be pedestrian. Like Bird would be a good player. Magic would be a great player. I
Bird
think.
would be still a legend.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would. You sound crazy.
He's not walking into the league and dominating like that. He's just not.
Yes, prime Larry Bird is absolutely dominating at any time.
There was too much comp in this league, bro. Too much. Too much.
Alex English.
I need to see you're just right now you're naming guys that I need to see highlights of. I can't even lie because I can't comment on that. He's had like some crazy games with the Nuggets, so I can't even come out here and be like, "Oh, he's going to suck in today's game." Because half of these guys are certified studs. I need to learn more about him.
He never got a ring.
He'd suck.
See, that's crazy. You don't even know the man, and you're just saying he'd be trash.
I do. I know enough to say he sucks.
Ready?
I've played enough 2K.
Bernard,
he's my team.
Bernard King, Knicks legend.
Shout out Bernard King, but I don't know if he'd be as good. Back then he was insane. So
yeah,
I don't know if he'd be as good.
That's Kevin Knox, baby. That's Kevin Knox.
That's Kevin Knox.
He is not Mr. Fortnite. Come on, he is not Mr. Fortnite.
Fortnite, bro. Every time I hear Kevin Knox name, I have that picture saved in my camera roll, bro. Dude, that shit is so hilarious.
Every Knicks fan has that picture.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to think of like guys in this league. Do you know what Brandon Ingram would have done in the 80s? Like Brandon Ingram would be viewed as a fucking legend if he played in the 80s. Like he would have been viewed like George Gervin and Alex English, but he's just gonna.
Okay,
he's just gonna be viewed as another guy in this league.
Keep George Gervin's name so far away from that. Like, never mention that again.
No, because you have to look at it as if they were playing back then.
George Gervin is an absolute legend.
Well, he's only a legend because he did it then. Less comp.
He was to this day, he's one of the most skilled players ever.
Yeah, and Brandon Ingram isn't?
Ever?
Yeah. If George Gervin is one of the most skilled players ever, then Brandon Ingram is as well.
You heard it here first, gentlemen. Cole has officially lost his mind.
How is that wrong?
And you were just talking about how last week I made fun of you in the titles, bro. It's because you make takes like these.
This one might be warranted. I can't lie.
This is a self-inflicted wound.
This one might be warranted, Lucas. I can't lie. This one might be warranted.
This is a self-inflicted wound here. Cole's gone loony.
This is what I believe.
He thinks that rings are the only thing that matters in scoring the most points ever. So you got Kareem and Bill Russell 1 and 2 right there.
And then Shaq, he's the most dominant. Shaq's number 3.
You got Steph Curry?
Steph, for sure, because he's the greatest shooter ever. And then Wilt, because he's just like, he's Wilt.
So you got one player. So you're trashing on all these players from playing back then, but the only current player you have in your top 5 is Steph Curry. You know what, man? I respect it. At least you got Steph Curry up there because he's the most skilled player ever, in my opinion.
If I had to pick a top 5, it would be Kareem 1.
You just said Bill. You said Bill Russell was your goat.
Hear me out.
Let
Hear me
him
out.
cook.
Okay.
Let him
okay,
cook.
Okay.
Kareem 1.
Yeah.
Shaq. Shaq or Steph 2, 3. Shaq and Steph 2 and 3. I don't know which order. I'd probably flip on that a lot. Number 4, I'll say Wilt, and number 5, I'll say Bill.
You don't even have LeBron in your top 5?
Or Jordan.
Nah, they're way more normal
Dude,
than those other 5 guys.
Bro, I thought you were the biggest LeBron fan, bro. What happened to that?
What is special about LeBron?
You're just trolling.
Are
what?
you turning into a bubble denier?
That was such a Mickey Mouse ring, bro. I can't even. No, I'm not, bro. All I'm saying is, Bill's got 11 rings. He has to be in the top 5. That's a lock. Will is so unbelievable that people think he's fake.
That's a huge point.
You see what I'm
the
saying?
reason- yeah, that is the only reason he should be in that conversation.
Steph is the greatest shooter ever. What is like the objective of basketball?
Shooting.
Like
To make the shot.
So,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
the greatest shooter ever has to be top 5. Shaq, I mean, and just go watch Prime Shaq. It's self-explanatory. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing. What do you
Put
do
him
to
in
stop
any
that?
generation, bro. He's
Yeah.
dominating.
And then Kareem has the most unstoppable shot ever. Like what? How is that not the GOAT? If you actually can't stop the shot, then what? The only way Kareem has a bad game is if he just is off.
Cole,
There's nothing you can do.
Cole, there's one thing I hate doing, and it's raining on people's parades. But you just said that the number one goal of basketball is making the shots, right? So
Yeah.
where's LeBron, the all-time leading scorer in NBA history?
I'm afraid he's a longevity merchant. He'd probably be he would probably be right outside the top 5.
He's like at what, number 6? Where's Jordan?
Jordan would be number 6 because he's
Oh,
got
man, you can't even beat Jordan.
Jordan's number 6 is he's got the most. He's got more rings and he's got the most scoring titles. So Jordan's number 6.
He does.
LeBron is number 7.
Oh,
LeBron.
You said more rings. Sorry.
LeBron is number 7 because he's the all-time leading scorer, but there's really nothing special about him. Number 8 and 9 is Kobe and Magic, which is like a knockoff version of Jordan and LeBron almost. And then number 10, AD.
AD
Did
or
you
KD?
say
No, no,
AD?
No, KD.
Anthony Davis. I thought you said AD.
No, wait, I lied.
But that's
I lied.
something you would say though. You would say some
Davis.
shit
I
like
lied.
that.
I lied. Number 10 is Jokic.
I like Jokic is a future top 10. I'll put him there like by the time he retires for sure.
Jokic is what people like you think Larry Bird is.
What does that mean?
See, that's a good comparison. If you're going to compare him to somebody, like compare him to Luka Doncic,
That's
compare
Joe
him to
fucking
Nikola
Ingles.
Jokic. These guys proved that you don't have to play the game fast to necessarily score like 30 points a game. Like they're both nearly Jokic a little lower, but Doncic is putting up what, like 33 a game this year.
And Joe Ingles proved that you don't have to be fast to come up to be the runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year.
You're talking about a runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year and comparing him to Larry Bird.
I'm sorry. Is that not special? Being a runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year is not special?
I'll let you talk trash about all the other players, right? Like Kobe, LeBron, Jordan. Put them outside your top 5. Like do what you want. It's a free country. I'm not going to hate on that. But the second you put Joe Ingles and say that in the same sentence of anything like Larry Bird, how am I not going to say anything? And how can you be wearing a Boston hat and make such wild accusations right now?
That's because Big Poppy is my GOAT.
He's just the GOAT of every sport. He's the best athlete of all time.
So some people have said that. I'm not saying I'm one of them, but I've heard some people say that.
In Boston, maybe.
No, I don't know. I mean,
That's
I've
not
heard some New
crazy?
Yorkers say it.
Nah, now you're lying.
Anyways,
Anthony Edwards would be Michael Jordan back in the 90s, bro. I'm telling you.
Everyone's gonna be Jordan back in the '90s if you keep disrespecting. I don't even think he's the GOAT, but he is definitely, I say, the second best player of all time.
Number 6 in my book.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys want me to name any more. I still
Should
have
I-
the list up.
Yo, I should tweet out that top 10 players of all time and just see what happens. I just want to see if it gets engaged with.
So now we know you're trolling.
Some
No, it's
LeBron
not.
fans-
It's not a
some
troll.
LeBron
It's just.
It's not a troll. It's just I know people would fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, exactly.
Let's move on now because I think we've named enough players. Unless you guys have any other obscure players that you want to talk about. That you
we
think would
covered
do
a good amount of
Yeah,
old '80s players. That was a vast majority.
Yeah, I
of
didn't want to.
players
I
right
didn't
there.
say much '90s because you were saying LT.
Yo,
like,
okay,
that
wait.
era and up is kind of like
The only guy
Like,
that comes to
maybe.
mind that was in the 70s that I'm like, he might be nasty in today's league. Pete Maravich.
Ooh,
He might be nasty. I can't lie.
he
might be
had a
nasty.
heart attack. He predicted his death, literally saying he would have a heart attack playing basketball, and
Damn.
that's exactly how he died.
Damn.
That's actually tragic. I can't
Who
lie.
would you compare him to, modern day?
I didn't mean to ruin the mood like that.
He
but,
was
like,
he was he was Steph before Steph, bro.
nah, he was like, I don't want to say Chris Paul, so I'm gonna say like.
DeMar Hamlin's.
No, we gotta move on. We have to move on now. In the comment, no, wait, you're gonna get me going on a tangent real quick.
Why?
He got robbed.
The runner-up for comeback player of
He got robbed,
Why do you think he got robbed?
bro. It's him and Jesus. They came back from the dead. Him and Jesus.
Yeah, but
and he
no,
still
that's-
lost to Joe Flacco.
So,
That's insane quarterback bias. I can't lie. Joe Flacco came back from playing for the Jets and they gave him comeback player of the year.
That is a
That's
fate
insane.
Cole, that is a fate worse than death. It's been proven.
That's unbelievable.
It's been proven that being a quarterback for the Jets is worse than death itself.
Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts, bro.
Exactly. You get possessed by the ghost of the still alive Joe Namath.
yeah.
All right,
Let's move on. Let's move on. On to the entertainment. We only have one topic to talk about. I'm a pretty big movie guy, but I haven't seen Dune, the first Dune movie, and apparently just recently Dune 2 is currently the highest rated film of all time on IMDb with a 9.4 out of 10. I didn't know, LT, you brought up before the podcast. What did you say about Black Panther? How it was also rated the highest?
Yeah, somebody should probably look it up, but I think it wasn't currently, but when it first came out, it was like the highest rated. It wasn't IMDb, it was Rotten Tomatoes, but definitely their highest at a moment. It was at like I want to say a 97, 98, the time it first came out. So there's
Yeah.
a bit of recency bias, but I still, Dune Part 2.
Yo,
I still gotta
some might
watch the first one.
say Timothy Chalamet might win White Boy of the Year. He's riding on a huge high. Willy
No, he
Wonka.
might.
Willy Wonka.
No.
He's Willy fucking Wonka, and he's dating. Is he still dating Kylie Jenner? Right?
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
know,
bro.
dude.
Bro,
Hate
he
hate
might
all
be.
you want.
He might be, and I don't know why. I just don't really. I don't watch much of his movies, so I can't say like much about him. But the things that I've been seeing, bro, he's kind of riding a huge high right now, and he's probably gonna win White Boy of the Year.
The only thing I've seen from Timothy Chalamet, I've never actually seen one of his movies.
Nah,
I've seen like old videos of him like rapping and stuff.
Yeah, me too. That's
And,
all
like,
I've seen of him.
And like some SNL clips, and that's about it. And like trailers. But people are saying Dune is like the greatest thing ever. So I think I've never
watch
seen
it.
I've never seen the first part, but apparently it's on Netflix. So after this I'm gonna watch it, and that's gonna determine whether I want to see Dune 2.
Or
But
we could watch it as a
We
reaction.
could watch it as a group. Yeah, we could watch it as a
Yeah,
group.
we could definitely react to that. My thing is though, this was my stance when the Avatar movies came out and people were saying they were the best movies ever because it sold so many copies or so many tickets at the theaters. But out of spite, I just never watched those movies just because everybody said it was the biggest deal ever. So I feel like I don't know with these Dune movies, I'm not gonna succumb to it
Is it
and
like
buy a
I don't
ticket
even
and watch it.
understand it? It's like a whole new story that someone made. Like they're trying to make a trilogy out of it. I heard they already have like a bunch planned already.
Yeah,
Like I don't understand what's going on. So
Yeah,
I
I think
definitely
it's
gotta like
I
get
think it's
into
supposed
it.
to be like the
The
new
next
version
Star
of like
Wars,
Star. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe not the same conceptually because I don't
yeah.
know
Of
how
course
I've never
not. But
watched it, but
yeah,
like the
but like
next like big hit like
sci-fi.
trilogy
and
thing.
it's
Yeah,
hey, it's having a great start. How much
it
how
is.
much did the I want to see how much the first movie got, what the percentage it got.
Which basically means that Disney is gonna buy the rights for Dune and then ruin it.
That's the death of every single movie franchise, I think.
It got the first movie got an 8 out of 10. Okay, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. People are saying I've heard LT made a good point, or not, maybe not a good point, but I've heard it a lot that maybe people are getting paid to say good things
Yeah.
about it. But I've seen so much, like an overwhelming amount of people say this is like the greatest movie ever. So I feel like I have to watch it just to see, just to know.
And here's the thing. What's stopping a movie company from just paying people to say this is the best ever? So when you look in the comments, you're like, oh my God, I have to see this movie. But
It's
there's
true.
all these comments that you don't even know what's real or what's not real anymore.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know. I feel like that could be what's going on right now.
I was with you, but I have a trusted source on Twitter that told me that it was good.
A trusted
Yeah.
source.
A trusted source that I don't think would be getting paid.
I'm not gonna lay low and watch the Dune trilogy or whatever it's at. It's only 2 movies, but
It's only 2
I think it's
movies.
gonna be a trilogy.
I'll give the first one a
I-
shot.
I'm gonna force you to watch it.
I'm gonna become a
It's
hater
gonna
like
be
Cole.
I'd rather watch Star Wars. That's my trilogy.
Nothing will ever beat Star Wars for me. Nothing. I don't even care if it's objectively better. Nothing will beat it.
Yeah.
You're a nostalgia critic.
Oh,
That's what I was about to
will-
say. I didn't want to say
bro,
that though. I didn't want to
I'll
start
be
that
nostalgia.
conversation.
I hate nostalgia bias, but Star Wars is nostalgia bias for me. It's the only thing I'll do it
Nostalgia
to.
merchant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take
Speaking of trilogies, please Marvel, please come back. I love you, Marvel. I want you to do
I'm
good
not
again.
a fan. I'm not a fan of the new Fantastic Four cast.
Did you see
I
the Did
can't
you see
lie.
the X-Men 87 trailer? It did really good.
Yeah, the animated one.
Yeah.
Well, I need them to make the new Spider-Man animated series like that. The one in the 90s. They got to bring that back next.
And,
Bro, how generational was that first cast for the Fantastic Four? Jessica Alba and
Yeah.
Chris Evans
Are you
Evans.
kidding me?
Chris
Yeah.
Evans,
The
right?
star power.
Chris
Oh
Evans.
my god. I mean, is that not unbelievable? That's
Did you?
unbelievable.
Oh, speaking of the Fantastic Four, we can talk about that. They just announced the cast.
I just said I'm not a fan.
Who was it?
Pedro Pascal is gonna be Mr. Fantastic.
That's
I
good.
forgot the guy
don't
that's
like
playing
that.
the guy that's playing the Thing is cousin from the Bear. I don't
I don't
know.
know
That'll
who
make
that
me
is.
good.
Yeah, I don't know who the other two are though. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot their names. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, those were
But
the
those
only
are the only
two.
two that I'm interested in, like to
Yeah.
see.
But Pedro, I liked. I didn't even watch the Doctor Strange movie, but I believe they had
They had John Krasinski.
yeah, Krasinski. I thought that was who they're gonna cast as Mr.
Yeah,
Fantastic
that's
in
what I
this
thought too.
movie, and he looks like. Here's my thing. He he looks more like a believable Mr. Fantastic
Mhm.
than Pedro did. As good as Pedro was in the Last of Us, obviously.
Who is a perfect Joe, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's different actors for different jobs, and I feel like this one doesn't fit him the most out of who it could have been.
Yeah.
Like when you think of like good casting, you think of like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man,
Oh, that's
like Hugh
unbelievable.
Jackman is Wolverine. The casting is just as important as the script itself. And I don't know if I like the decision. It seems like a desperate move for Marvel to get an actor like an A-lister like that.
Yeah,
But
but you would think
obviously,
they wouldn't want to
we'll
fuck
see.
up with that because of how
Yeah, we'll see,
horrible the
man.
last Fantastic Four did.
It's hard for me to get
The
excited
worst
about.
movie ever.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get excited about anything new, Marvel and Star Wars. I can't lie.
Speaking of worst movies ever, can
Oh,
we
yeah.
talk about? No, I haven't watched it, but I've seen
That's
clips
what we
from
need
it.
to
I've seen
need to react
Madam
to.
Web was
Yeah.
the worst movie of all time, bro. Like I saw clips of it. I didn't watch the movie. I don't want to watch the movie. But I've
I
seen
want to.
clips. I've seen clips. Low key, I want to see just because of
need
how
to see
bad
it.
it is. But I've
Yeah, I
seen
need to
clips.
see
Like
it.
I already spoiled myself. I don't give a fuck. But like just the editing is like horrible, and the
Jump
acting is
cut.
also horrible. Like
I
I don't know
saw-
who thought of the most original bad guy of all time. Like he's not like I don't even know him anymore. I don't know what he looks like anymore. And you have Sydney Sweeney, bro. You have Sydney Sweeney as part of your cast, and you're gonna fucking throw it away like that, bro? Show her tits,
Yeah,
bro. That's how you'll make the movie good. My God.
Was she even like a main character in that?
She was like, it was like a 4-person like story, kind of. There was
They
she
should
was
have
one
made
of the
that all
4
about her.
Spider-Mans.
She's like the most she's probably the most talked about actress
Yeah,
in the
I
country.
thought at first when I didn't watch the trailer when it came out, but I thought it was gonna be about her because that's all people talked about was Sydney Sweeney Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I was like, oh
I
shit,
don't know
she's gonna
why
be the main character. Oh, that's dope.
I don't
And then
know why they
I
did
found out
this.
she wasn't. It was fucking
bizarre.
Dakota Johnson. She was in 50 Shades of Grey. Whatever, dude.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever.
Dude,
I'm just mad because I'm a Marvel nerd and like Marvel is just down. Like I'm in the trenches right now. I feel like a Knicks fan back in the day right now with Marvel. Like I just can't. I just can't. I'm excited
okay.
for Deadpool though.
They're
That's gonna be
rooting
good.
Star Wars as well. It's okay.
yeah, Star Wars is already done.
Yeah.
Disney just fucks
They
everything
just
up.
fucked
Man.
everything up. Let's all. What if we like all like
They're-
agree
they're
to
too-
boycott Disney?
They're too busy
fuck
bringing.
Disney.
They're
Fuck
too busy
Disney.
bringing back Wizards of Waverly Place that no one wants to see.
Yeah.
A 40-year-old David
I'd
Henry.
rather have
No one wants to see
Universal.
it.
I'd rather have Universal own everything now than Disney. Universal's better. They're coming out. You see, they're coming out with a new park in 2025, a brand new park.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
That
gas.
was
I'm gonna
sick.
go there. I was telling my mom, I'm like, yo, I have to go there day one because
Have you guys been
I'm
to
like the Universal theme park. Like I'm probably like one of the biggest fans that goes there. Like I know everything about it.
shit. Dude, I'll be there too.
Yeah.
Have you guys been to the Star Wars part of it?
Oh, that's in Disney.
Or yeah, in Disney. I mean,
Yeah, that was
I
the
haven't been to
best
the
experience
Disney,
ever.
the Star Wars
Dude.
Disney.
because I went with my brother earlier this year. Oh my god, that shit was insane.
Was it Hollywood Studios?
The best. Yeah, it's in Hollywood
yeah,
Studios.
Hollywood
Yeah,
Studios.
I've never been there. I should.
Beautiful.
Unreal.
But usually, whenever I go to Florida, I always pick Universal over Disney.
Yeah,
You gotta do a little bit of both.
I would go. I would go.
When I
Universal
go, I
Studios.
always go to Magic Kingdom for my little sister because she likes.
You
princesses and
gotta
stuff.
mix and match when you're down there in Orlando.
You're right. Nah, you're right.
gotta get
Me and
the
my
best
brother
of
were
both.
there. Me and my brother were there because he got some award for work, and it was at Disney. The award thing was at Disney.
Epcot.
So, yeah, so we
The best.
we hit Magic Kingdom one day just because we had a park pass for all of them, and we were like, might as well. And we were like an hour into being there, and we just looked at each other like, I'm 20 years old, you're like 30. What are we doing here? Like, we're not with the kid. Like, we're at Magic Kingdom.
That's why Universal's better, bro.
Two
That's why I
grown-ass
think-
men in Magic Kingdom.
That's why. That's why I think Universal's
true.
better because you can be that age and still feel like, okay, I feel
Yeah.
normal here.
Yeah.
Especially
then you
and
see-
Halloween Horror Nights too. Disney's not doing that.
It's true. But you see these Disney adults all over social media, and everyone's
Oh,
like the worst
hate it.
people ever.
Yeah, they
you're
are.
Right.
No, they are.
All these Disney
not-
stars.
It's actually
Yeah.
not even debatable. They actually are the worst people ever.
Or them, they give off the same energy
Jake Paul's
as
a
Taylor
fucking
Swift fans.
Disney star, dude. He was on Bizarre. He was on a Disney show.
Who, Jake Paul?
Yeah,
Look at him now.
he was on the show with Olivia Rodrigo. But look at her now.
It's okay. It's okay to be a Disney star. It's not okay to be an
A
obsessed
Disney
adult.
Yeah,
A
you
Disney
can't be
adult.
a Disney adult.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Just
Oh
lose
shit,
me with
that's what
that
you got.
shit.
Oh, I got it mixed up. I thought you guys were talking about Disney stars that turned bad. My bad. I got it
No,
mixed
no,
up.
no.
Disney adults.
Disney adults.
No.
You're right. Yeah.
The worst people on earth. Like,
Them and Taylor Swift fans.
oh lord. No, I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. Don't even say that. I'm glad she won the Super Bowl.
Next album ratings,
you're right.
Taylor Swift, bro.
Yep, that's our next episode.
That's the next episode.
No, don't say that. Luke's is gonna kill himself doing that episode.
No,
Who
I'm
cares?
not gonna listen to. No, dude, I'm gonna refuse to listen to Taylor Swift.
It's gonna be like
I
Pat
hate
with the
Taylor
Drake
Swift.
episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it though. Yeah, now that you said that, because Pat had to go through Drake, I have to go.
Pat
through
had
Taylor
to
Swift.
suffer.
Yeah,
I'm
then I
not
have
gonna
to
lie,
suffer.
like going through that. I like Drake, but going through all that shit was fucking insufferable.
Yeah,
I was having
gets-
fun. Yo,
gets
I was
very
listening
old.
to it. I was having fun. There were some songs I forgot about. I was like, oh shit. But
Once you get to views and all the albums are like an hour and 45 minutes, it's just like
and it's all the
holy
same
shit.
music. It can literally all be on the same album. It's so bland.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's oh,
yeah, I want to do Bruno Mars. That would be amazing. Bruno Mars.
that would be
this.
good, but he has like 3 albums.
Yeah, and they're all S tier too.
They're all great. Yeah.
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 All right, that's pretty much it. We're coming to the end of the episode. You did you want to talk about UFC at all? How Royval won?
I mean, Royval, that was a bad fight, honestly, for Moreno. He looked lost out there. That's all I took out from that.
Yeah, and I texted you as well. I wanted to see Raul fight, but he was sick. I wanted to see him
like
fight,
last
bro.
second.
Yeah,
He pulled out like last second.
that's someone that I wanted to see him fight because I don't know, because that's like one of the only fighters that I started watching, like, because like how he started and now he's on the come up. But we watched his last loss though at B-Dubs when he
Mhm.
lost on submission.
The good luck spot, B-Dubs.
B-Dubs, we gotta go
Good
there
luck.
next. We can't go to. I'm not gonna say the name of where we go, but we can't go to wherever we go now for UFC because you've lost twice.
Yeah,
And you were on a good
It's
streak at
disgusting.
B-Dubs.
I think 3 straight times I lost at this location, so we got to switch things up.
Yeah.
It's gross, dude. I can't even believe it. I really can't.
No, it's not. Wait, it's not the location. It's Cole matching your bets. That's what it is, dude.
It's gross. I actually LT, I actually hate you. No, I actually do hate you.
You hear this?
Dude, if I could kick you off the pod, I would, I swear.
You hear this?
Says the
No,
one who
because-
compared
no,
Larry Bird to Joe Ingles. He wants to
still
kick you off the
name,
pod.
his name is in the title. It's PC.
You're right.
There's
You're
no
right.
LT and PC.
You're
yeah,
right.
fuck you guys. This is my show.
Yep.
Not
Cole does the outro.
End it off, Cole. It's your show.
well, thank you for watching the Cole Dixon show here on YouTube and Spotify. This was kind of a free ball episode, so thanks for being with us here while we talked about things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of life. Thank you all for listening. Remember to subscribe because we're trying to get our numbers up on YouTube, so that would be a big help.
Y'all
Maybe
been
hit the
doing
like
good.
button. Maybe
Yeah.
hit the
Doing
like
good.
button. Hit the like button if
and
you
the
want.
and the notification bell if you want.
Oh, I'm not going to say you have to,
Yeah,
but
because it's
it
your
would be
choice.
very nice.
It's your choice.
It would be very nice if you subscribed.
Yeah.
Maybe you hit the notification bell and maybe you hit the like button.
But if you
And
don't,
possibly leave a comment, but that could be pushing it.
but if you don't be surprised that you heard knocking on your door at 3 a.m. one night. Okay.
We have ties with Taylor Swift and the CIA. we
Yep.
have ties.
Yeah.
Our connections go deep. So don't I wouldn't test it. Is all I'm saying.
Yep.
So that is this my first ever outro? It might be.
Yeah.
So we
You're
will
doing
see you
okay.
guys. We'll see you guys next week. You have something to say?
Yeah. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
Keeping
Yes.
it PC Pod. If you just look that up, you'll find it. And then you can just end it off now, Cole, because you're doing an amazing job.
Oh, thank you. Well, this has been my outro. This has been a great episode of season 3 of Keeping It PC. We're off to a flaming hot start. So we'll see you next week. Peace.